If you've been glancing at this show on IMDb occasionally, you may have noticed that they have a whole different episode order than the DVD I found. Not that it matters. While it's true we have an overall story arc that we're working on, there's no real continuity among its various parts.
There, that does it. This thing should fly.
We were lucky. The monster bird didn't do any real damage to the plane.
The dogfight did use up most of our fuel reserve.
How much is left?
If there's no headwind, we have enough for 2 or 3 hours flying.
Since they have everything they need right here, is that a problem?
We're in trouble.
Why?
2 or 3 hours flying time worth of fuel just isn't enough. There's that mountain pass at the south end of New Valley, remember?
You're right. If Urko finds it, there'll be no way to stop him from surprising us.
That means the mountain pass has to be kept under regular surveillance.
And the airplane is the only way to really do it.
Okay, it's a problem. They need fuel. There's plenty at that depot they destroyed when they appropriated the plane, and they have a truck that they liberated from Urko a while back. How do they get to the gas station?
Ron found a map inside the truck.
Ron who? There's no Ron here. The bearded guy's name is Brent. Usually I'd say I can't believe a flub like that got past everybody, but with this show, yeah, I can believe it. The map shows an abandoned farmhouse where they can hole up and hide from patrols. Brent, or Ron, or whoever he is, doesn't like it, but there's not much choice. Bill and Jeff will attempt it. I hope everybody caught what's happening there. The truck is dragging its tire tracks behind it. We've seen some strange animation in this show, but I think I could have done better, and I can't even draw a decent card when I play poker. Full disclosure, I only play poker and Hoyle card games. I don't play for anything tangible, or fungible, or any other kind of gibble.
Do you think the bridge will carry our weight?
Sure, this truck can't weigh much more than my old pickup.
How big was your pickup? What are you compensating for? They get across, but the bridge is collapsing behind them.
We'll never make it across.
I never lost a truck yet.
How many trucks have you tried to lose? Maybe find yourself a better hobby?
I told you we'd make it.
Yeah, well, remind me never to believe you again.
You may have noticed that something's missing. Neither of them is asking how they're going to get back.
Ron! Hurry, Ron! Hurry! Please, Ron, hurry! Oh, they woke me up a few minutes ago and practically dragged me over here. I found Nova like this. Oh, Ron, I just don't know what to do for her.
Let me take a look. We all had medical training in the space program in the 21st century.
They had a certain amount in her century too, but she's just a girl, so she has to call his name still isn't Ron.
Well, these symptoms are clear-cut, Judy. I've seen them before.
What is it, Ron?
It's a chronic case of acute infectious streptococcus.
Streptococcus?
Yes, that's right. It's a rare type of disease that first attacks the lobar region of the lungs. It spreads very fast and is contagious. After 48 hours, it becomes highly contagious, and 24 hours after that, it's fatal.
I've lived in intimate contact with the world's greatest nurse for over 30 years, and all I can say to Brent, Ron, Joe, Fred's diagnosis is Streptococcus is a bacterium that we've known about for ages. It causes strep, duh, among other things. I was able to find exactly one reference to a streptococcus. Apparently it's a real bacterium, not that common, and it causes urinary tract infections. So unless Nova pees from her lungs, that's not what she has. But it is anyway. He knows of a serum that will cure it and inoculate everyone else, but getting some could be a challenge. There's only one thing to do. Judy will take the plane and fly to that farmhouse to meet up with Bill and Jeff. She has just enough gas to get there, but the boys should have more for her before time to go. Hopefully from the farmhouse, she can slip into the city and get some help from Zira and Cornelius.
But we only have 36 hours left before Nova becomes communicable.
If it's any form of streptococcus, she's communicable now. This whole scenario is beyond goofy. After a certain time, she becomes contagious enough to wipe out the entire colony. And why is the entire colony getting near her to catch it? The idea of just keeping one's distance won't occur to anybody. The cream of 20th and 21st century scientific advancement, everybody. We get a good 2 full minutes of nothing while Judy flies the plane.
Bill? Jeff? Are you in here?
They saw the plane, but it didn't occur to them that Judy might be the one flying it. They assumed Urko either recaptured theirs. How? He was complaining to his troops earlier that they can't find a way into New Valley, or he found another one. Judy lays it out for them. The boys will take the truck and continue their mission, while Judy will have to sneak into Ape City on her own. Gee, can a mere girl handle that? Seriously, it's been a consistent thing. Judy is a seasoned astronaut and pilot, but because she has different plumbing and always has perfect hair, that proves she's just a tad inferior to the guys. She's the one that gets brainwashed, for example. Initially, I thought including a woman in the crew was a cool move, but they still treat her the way too many guys treated women, and still do.
Zira and Cornelius are understanding and sympathetic. I'm sure they won't refuse to help.
But remember, Bill, their first loyalty is to their own ape society.
I'm not so sure about that. Through their interaction with our humanoids, they've come to realize their society has some serious flaws, such as bigotry. I get the feeling they're kind of like me. My dad was the wisest person I ever knew, but he had a racist streak from Oklahoma to California. He grew up with it, it was all he knew, and by the time he found himself in a more diverse society, it was thoroughly cemented in his mind. He taught it to me when I was a kid, but somewhere around 17, I started asking questions and didn't like the answers. I decided that racism is evil. It's just one more way we humans have come up with to hate and try to destroy each other. And let me be brutally honest, I fight it every minute of every day. When something is pounded into your head for your first 17 years, you never fully get rid of it. The best I can do is consciously reject it if it starts to raise its head, pound it back down into whatever hell it came from, and recognize that this person is my sibling. The biggest difference between that person and me is they're not me and I'm not them. That's it. I do admit it's gotten easier and easier as the years have gone by, but every so often something tries to peek over the edge of the pit. It gets a foot in the face for its trouble. And when I had my own kids, I decided the cycle was going to end right there. From birth, I gave them one simple principle to live by. People are people. Some are worth your time and some aren't. But you can't tell by looking. You have to get in there, mix it up with the person, and be a little vulnerable. And you know what we've all learned? Just about every time, the person is worth the effort. And there's something else to consider that's perfectly legitimate. That other person is asking the same questions about you. Cornelius and Zira have just sent some other visitors away.
Guerrilla Veterans Relief Fund. Imagine.
Zira? Cornelius?
Judy, what are you doing here?
They'll give to the fund, give them a middle finger, that is. This is why I said I'm not so sure their loyalty is to their own society, especially the gorillas. Judy presents the problem.
Are you willing to take still another risk, Zira? To help the humanoids?
I think so, Cornelius. But what about you?
Please, Cornelius. Our lives depend on it.
Very well.
Thank you, Cornelius. Thank you.
Infectious streptococcus. The symptoms sound very much like our inflammatus pneumococcal.
He can't help being a good guy. Urko would say it's a character flaw. While Bill and Jeff gather the aviation fuel into the truck without incident, Cornelius will mix up the serum we need. But even in the midst of it, Judy and Zira found the time to have sexy portrait shots taken. Eventually, we get tired of drawing comic book panels.
That should do it.
Is the serum ready?
I must now boil off the negative bacterium and cool it for 1 minute.
It's taken longer than I anticipated. I don't see how I'll make it back to the farmhouse by dawn.
Is she really saying 1 more minute is going to make that much difference?
Cornelius! Zira?
Oh, no. It's Dr. Zaius. Quick, Judy. Hide in the storeroom.
Hurry, Judy. Coming, Dr. Zaius.
Good evening, children.
Good evening, Dr. Zaius. What brings you here at such a late hour?
I was on my way home and I saw the lights on. So I thought I'd stop by and see how my two most loyal chimpanzee scientists are doing.
Why does he need to specify chimpanzee scientists? What other species of scientist is there? The Ape Society is almost a caste system. The orangutans are the statesmen and diplomats. The chimpanzees are the intellectuals, the scientists and philosophers and such. And the gorillas are the big dumb muscle. The delineations are clear and probably immutable.
Oh, by the way, has the Gorilla Veterans Relief Fund been around for contributions?
Yes, they have, Dr. Zaius.
Strange. They've never asked for contributions before. I wonder if Urko is up to something.
When isn't he? As I said, the chimps are the intellectuals and the gorillas are the lowbrow grunts. In the absence of any useful level of intelligence, Urko has chosen to go with ambition. Right now, our friends need to get rid of Zaius.
Zira, you seem rather fidgety. Is anything wrong?
Wrong? No, Dr. Zaius. It's just that we were in the middle of a rather dangerous experiment when you came in.
Dangerous experiment?
Yes, Dr. Zaius. This solution we're preparing could explode at any moment.
Explode at any moment?
That's right, Dr. Zaius.
I see. Well, I will call it some other time then. After all, I'm not as young as you two. So I'll bid you a fond good night.
Good night, Dr. Zaius.
Suddenly, he has an appointment with his pillow. The serum is ready. Now we need to get Judy to that farmhouse in a hurry. How did they get access to an ambulance? Some people ask too many questions.
We'll never make it.
What do you mean?
If we go back the way we came, it'll be daylight before we reach the farmhouse.
But we have no choice.
Sure we do. We can risk the main highway. It's a lot faster.
And a lot more dangerous. There are bound to be guerrilla units everywhere.
We either have to take that chance or risk having the airplane discovered by the gorillas.
They haven't hit any patrols, but the truck is overheating. They take a jerry can and go to get some water from a nearby river.
Looks like a storm is brewing.
Of course, every tense situation needs a lightning storm. I saw it in the rule book once before the keepers closed off access to it.
State your business.
We're on our way to a burial.
Oh, yeah? Whose?
A humanoid.
A humanoid, huh? And why all the rush?
The beast died of a contagious disease. It is also fatal to simians.
What? A dangerous disease? Well, what are you waiting for? Get going.
Yes, sir. Thank you, officer.
And besides, it could explode any moment. Wait, we told the other guy that. Then again, she could tell this gorilla that, and what does he know?
Okay, that should be enough water.
Good. Cap it and let's go.
Someone's coming.
A gorilla patrol.
Let's get out of here. Gorillas!
Humanoids! After them! After them!
It'll take a little bit since they have to break out a bunch of rubber rafts to cross the river. The boys have to try and get to the truck before they get across.
Faster! Row faster!
I almost feel the need to pull my glasses down again. I've seen a river that size during such a storm. It doesn't look like that. It looks like this. By the time they get across, they'll be 3 miles downriver. The water is in the radiator, so let's get going.
Come on, start. Let's move.
Hey, frontwards, is that what... Oh, right, he pulled off the road, so he has to... Never mind.
Faster! Faster! We must catch them!
I want to get a look at the rubber rafts that got all that stuff across the river.
You're fueled and ready for takeoff.
Be careful, Judy. The weather's very bad.
Really? She hadn't noticed. She's just a girl, you know. Come on, Jeff.
But what about you two? How are you going to get back?
The planes taking off might divert their attention from the truck.
There they are. Get going, Judy.
Look, the truck. It's getting away.
Never mind the truck. That's General Urko's airplane. We must recapture it.
I don't see his name on it.
Faster! Faster! Catch the plane!
Oh no, they're gaining on me.
Then step on the gas, duh. Why are you crawling along at taxiing speed? See what kinds of cool things happen when people listen to me?
The airplane. Judy's made it. She's made it.
Why hasn't he been teaching these people to talk?
I sure wouldn't want to go through that again.
Nova's safe, and so are we all.
And there's an ample supply of the serum for us all to be protected.
Yes. And we have enough airplane fuel to keep the plane flying for regular reconnaissance flights to the southern flank.
Not to mention, they stole one of those big honkin' rubber rafts from the gorillas. That's how they got the truck past that collapsed bridge.
I want my airplane back. And I want the humanoid beasts to pay dearly for their actions.
As the saying goes, people in you-know-where want ice water. This episode is pretty typical. Long stretches of looking at nothing, padding galore, and yet it was interesting. Cornelius's hesitation about helping Judy especially caught my eye because that's something new. The stress may be getting to him. When Zaius asked how they were, it took him at least 5 stammers to answer, "We're fine." I still don't know who Ron is, but Brent is doing a good job of standing in for him. For now, everyone is safe, and they have plenty of gas for the plane to keep it that way. It's a good thing it gets good mileage. Or airage? Flyage? And there's something else to consider that's perfectly legitimate. That other person is oh man, I was so close.